It's in the air and flicked away beautifully by Lloyd. That's going down towards the square leg boundary and will be 4. That was pitched up on leg stump, and Lloyd loves them in that area. Flicking it away high over the top of the infield down to the square leg boundary.
What superb form Clive Lloyd's been in this summer. Just flicking it away over square leg. And Pascoe just straying down leg side, and Lloyd moving on to 48. Yardley to Bacchus.
The ball, it's in the air. There's a big appeal. Everyone's up. There's no finger up yet. The umpire unmoved. Everyone was in the air on that occasion. Rod Marsh doesn't look too happy. Border thought he hit it clearly.
Beautiful piece of bowling from Bruce Yardley. The quicker one, the flatter one. And why, that looked as though it was an edge. Could have been a great breakthrough for Australia. Look at all the action from the Australians. Catch it, and Graham Wood in there quickly.
It was certainly very close to the inside edge of the bat as it went onto the pad.
Bruce Yardley bowls now to Fayud Bacchus, and the Australian frustrations continue.
He's hit it in the air, and he's gone. He's dropped him. A straightforward catch straight down the mid-off's throat. That was Lenny Pascoe out there, and he's put it down.
Beautifully bowled by Bruce Yardley. Bacchus charging. We anticipated that last ball rather, and a nice simple catch to Lenny Pascoe, and out it popped. He couldn't believe it.
Well, we just had the feeling that Bacchus was under a bit of pressure. Let's have another look at that. Drags him out. He goes for the big one. Pascoe's there. It's the end of his fingers and straight out. Well, what a blow.
Jeff Thompson to Bacchus.
It's in the air and just past Alan Border. Well, another flashy shot there by Bacchus. Border did his best, stuck his left hand in the air, and the ball down to third man for 4.
Just seeing that fly through first slip. Tony, how important it would have been for Greg Chappell to have been in that position. He's a taller player than Alan Border. He also fields finer. And perhaps it may have been the hands of Chappell that may have been able to have snared that, but he hasn't. It's gone for 4 runs. And that takes a little pressure off the West Indies.
Bruce Yardley to Clive Lloyd.
That's short, and it's in the air and way down towards Malone. And did he catch it? Did he drop it? Was it a catch? Well, it certainly was a good effort by Malone down there. The ball went high into the outfield. He made a pretty bold effort at it, diving to his right, and we'll have a look in a moment to see if he actually got a hand on that one before it bounced.
Bruce Yardley has lured both players into a false shot. Last couple of overs, Mick Malone coming in very quickly. Very close to getting the hands underneath it.
Oh, and Lloyd cutting and getting a bottom edge that time. Again, Yardley just a little unlucky. That one cut down into the ground with the bottom edge. And it beat both Rod Marsh and Alan Border at first slip. And so they were able to get 3.
Jeff Thompson to Clive Lloyd. Australia's last hope falls to the ground.
Lloyd, and he's dropped him. My goodness, the Australians have dropped another one. Thompson, look at him. And that time Yardley looked for a second if he struggled to pick it up. It was hit quite hard at him, square of the wicket. For a second it looked as if it might have bobbed up back into his hands.
Well, the bowling change of Rodney Marsh, nearly producing the goods. And Bruce Yardley fielding at point. It was well hit. It went into the hands, a straightforward catch, and neither player could believe it. 3 times in the last 4 overs, the catches have gone down. Bruce Yardley really pulling off the juggling act. Down it went.
Thompson again. Lloyd drives and drives into the gap. This time Yardley's after it. Lloyd looks as if he'd like to get up there. Quicker now, beginning to open out a little, going for the 3rd. So 3 runs to him. And when you've got wickets in hand, of course, that's pretty straightforward. It's in the air and way down the ground. In fact, sliced away over the top of extra cover and down to the boundary for 4. So Lloyd beginning to open up now. turning it on for the West Indies. Thompson looking very frustrated, having had a catch drop that over. 4 for 217.
Fayard Bacchus faces Pascoe.
It's a full toss and hit through the gap before. That one was over-pitched by Len Pascoe and dispatched away to the cover boundary by Bacchus. And so now it's 4 for 221. 15 runs needed now by the West Indies. And that one hit over the top of mid-wicket, just wide of Dennis Lilly, and that one too going down to the square leg boundary for 4. So the West Indies with 6 wickets in hand, beginning to open up now and close the gap. And very close to that 236.
Thompson to Lloyd. And he's picked that up beautifully. Away over mid-on. He's going to finish it in style, Clive Lloyd. Four for 231 now.
And the West Indies racing towards victory. It looks a lot easier now, but just a matter of 3 or 4 overs ago, Clive Lloyd wouldn't have played a shot like that.
And it's away over square. And the scores are tied. They need 236 to win. 4 for 235 at the moment. Just 1 run to win for the West Indies. It's been a match of great courage here at the Adelaide Oval, not least today by the West Indians, who fought back from a rather dangerous position. In the air, Lilly is under it. Bacchus has gone with the scores tied. Well, there's joy in the spectators there, but it's not going to do the Australians very much good. It'll do Lenny Pascoe's bowling average a bit of good. Fayard Bacchus caught Lilly bowled Pascoe for 27.
The Australians fighting it right out to the very end, and at last a catch being taken. And Lilly right in the eyes, and looking into the sun, it just ballooned out to him. A good ball from Len Pascoe, his 3rd wicket, and how hard he's worked for that. Lilly looking into the sun, caught it right in front of the eye. So Bacchus, he's out for 27. After the hook shot, it was on him very quickly. And Pascoe just going to show that he's still bending the back, even with 1 run needed for victory. It'll be a great moment for Clive Lloyd. It's the winning run. And a great year for him.
And there it is. Smashed away through mid-wicket. West Indies have won by 5 wickets. A great effort, that. And some of the West Indian players there are cheering their captain from the field. He's retained the Frank Worrell Trophy. They've been waiting at the gate to beat the crowd. And what an ornament of the game that man has been. Clive Lloyd, skippering the West Indies, defeated in Melbourne, a draw in Sydney, and here he's been in there to hit the winning run and make 73 not out. And receives a standing ovation from the crowd. So West Indies win by 5 wickets in what has been an absolutely enthralling test match. Well, that was a great match and a great way to finish it by the West Indian captain. Clive Lloyd, a marvellous innings, that top score for the West Indies, and he led them through with experience and calm and a tremendous amount of skill. And nice to see his teammates out there lifting him. Some of the bigger ones, they're doing it because he's no small weight himself.